October 1962. For 13 days, the United States and the Soviet Union stood on the brink of nuclear war. Missiles in Cuba, naval blockades, secret back-channel negotiations. At the center, President John F. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev. This is the story of the most dangerous moment in human history, when a single decision could have ended civilization. Welcome to Ancient Wars, October 1962. American U-2 spy planes photographed something that should not have been there. Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from Florida. For the first time in history, nuclear war was not theoretical. It was imminent, and for 13 days, the fate of the world rested in the hands of a few men. The Cold War had been escalating for years. In 1959, Fidel Castro seized power in Cuba. By 1961, the United States had already attempted to remove him during the disastrous Bay of Pigs invasion. The failure embarrassed President John F. Kennedy. It strengthened Cuba's alliance with the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, the U.S. had stationed nuclear missiles in Turkey within striking distance of Moscow. Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev wanted balance. He also wanted leverage. So he made a bold decision: secretly place nuclear missiles in Cuba. On October 14, 1962, a U-2 reconnaissance flight captured photographic evidence of Soviet missile installations. The next morning, Kennedy was informed. The missiles were capable of striking most major U.S. cities within minutes. Washington entered crisis mode. Kennedy formed EXCOM, the Executive Committee of the National Security Council. Military leaders pushed for immediate airstrikes. Others warned an attack could trigger Soviet retaliation in Europe and possibly nuclear war. Kennedy chose a middle path: not invasion, not airstrike. A naval quarantine. On October 22, 1962, Kennedy addressed the nation on live television. He revealed the missiles. He announced the blockade. He warned the Soviet Union that any launch from Cuba would be considered an attack on the United States. American forces moved to DEFCON 2, the closest the U.S. has ever come to nuclear war. Soviet ships steamed toward the blockade line. The world waited. Would they break through? October 27, 1962, Black Saturday. A U-2 spy plane was shot down over Cuba. The pilot was killed. Pressure mounted for retaliation. Behind the scenes, Khrushchev sent two letters. The first was conciliatory: remove U.S. missiles from Turkey, and the Soviets would withdraw from Cuba. The second was harsher, demanding public concessions. Kennedy chose to respond only to the first. Secret negotiations intensified, and unknown to Washington, a Soviet submarine near the blockade line was being depth-charged by U.S. ships. The submarine commander believed war had already begun. He considered launching a nuclear torpedo. It required agreement from 3 officers. 2 agreed, 1 refused. His name was Vasily Arkhipov. His decision may have saved the world. On October 28th, Khrushchev announced the Soviet Union would dismantle its missile sites in Cuba. In return, the United States pledged not to invade Cuba and secretly agreed to remove missiles from Turkey. The crisis was over, but the lesson was clear. Human survival had depended on restraint. The Cuban Missile Crisis reshaped the Cold War. A direct hotline was established between Washington and Moscow. Nuclear arms control efforts gained urgency. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction became terrifyingly real. For 13 days, the world stood at the edge. No battle was fought, no missile was launched. Yet it remains one of the most dangerous confrontations in human history, because sometimes the wars that do not happen are the ones that matter most. Welcome to Ancient Wars.